Whenever you're in the city, it's important to take the time to stop and look up. This building's a great reason why.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Tell me about the brief for the building.
The brief was to create this mixed-use building that relates to the past, but the tower needs to relate to the future of Sydney.
How do the bricks come into play in terms of heritage in Sydney?
Before we thought about bricks, we wanted to create wow factor. We thought immediately, no, let's do the contrasting scheme, which would be very transparent. So then, as a team of architects, we visited the site, and more come to this precinct. We just fell in love with the brick. And then we thought, you know what, why don't we bring traditional materialities back into the heart of the city?
Today you can see all people walking through the building, interacting with the building. How does that make you feel?
First of all, well, I'm glad we chose the brick. And I'm glad that people are noticing that intricacy and the craftsmanship of brick.
Why do you think we feel an emotional connection to brick?
When we start looking at the design, what color, what texture, we sort of look at the red earth of the heart of Australia. And without thinking too hard, when you walk past, it's something that instantly we connect with this Mother Earth color.
How do you strike the balance between saying, here is something that reflects the heritage of the area, but creates something entirely new or fresh? How do you do that?
Well, we drew brick by brick, but also we simulated in use of computer technology. The brick itself, we overhang, so we step the brick after brick after brick. Then we come to this tipping point, then the brick facade starts to look very light. Because it steps, it makes this sort of shark nosing effect that make it very slim. And of course, the idea of this is to bring more daylight into the internal space, but also create beautiful, wonderful, deep shadow.
And when it came to practically building the structure, did all those things play out as you expected?
Well, we had wonderful builders on board. Of course, the Hutchinson as a main contractor, Favetti, the group of wonderful brick masons. And these wonderful things about brick, because to make it work required lots of conversation workshop. He was cutting, slicing brick millimeter, 2 millimeters. I could not believe it. And just wonderful the way that this piece of brick brought everyone together.
So they enjoyed the process.
They enjoyed so much. This was so wonderful. You know, it's something about we've forgotten, and that we should not forget about the roots of our past and the wonderful materiality that we can reinvent a building like this in the middle of the city.
Was it difficult to get the developer across the line when it came to the use of the brickwork?
It's a challenge. You need to explain the value of using actual brick, because if you just talk about the surface, you have so many other choices. But the whole point of using brick is really about the process, because the facade really shows the process. And when they certainly see the result, now everybody says, well, this couldn't be anything other than the actual bricks.
Yeah. How do you think that people will view the building in 50 years' time?
We talk about a lot of it is about designing for timeless beauty. There's also another ways of look at design for the moment. Let me say, it's an example. I walk certain street knowing that this building, every time I look at this building, makes me happy. And I hope that this building does that to people. And it's very important that it's not really about the design, but it is about how this piece of architecture belongs in the communities and people's heart.